ॐ ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परम ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ओम सच्चिदानंदरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रय विनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः। ओम जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्च अर्थेष्वभिघ्नस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय अधिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत् सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। ॐ नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवण त्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं। समस्तदेवताभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराण आचार्येभ्यो नमः। परब्रह्मणे महाविष्णवे ब्रह्मणे सनकादिमुनिभ्यो नारदाय वेदव्यासाय शुकब्रह्मर्षे सूतमहामुने शौनकादृषिभ्यो वैशम्पायनादृषिभ्यो प्रह्लादादिभक्तजनेभ्यो आदित्यादिनवग्रदेवताभ्यो मत्स्यावतारेभ्यो नमः। श्रीदक्षिणामूर्ति दत्तात्रेय हयग्रीवादिगुरुभ्यो नमः। आदिपराशक्तिमात्रे नमः। आद्य शंकराचार्यवर्यादिगुरुभ्यो नमः। माता पितृदेवताभ्यो नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम श्री कृष्ण परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणमेकादश स्कंदः मुक्तिरेत्वा अन्यथा रूपं स्वरूपेण व्यवस्थितिः अथ त्रयोविंशोऽध्यायः। द्विज उवाच। Chant from 43, one of the very beautiful portion of Bhagavata Purana. ओम नायं जनो मे सुख दुख हेतुः न देवतात्मा ग्रह कर्म कालाः मनः परं कारणमामनन्ति संसार चक्रं परिवर्तयेत् यत मनोगुणान्वयि सृजते बलीयः ततश्च कर्माणि विलक्षणानि शुक्लानि कृष्णानि अथ लोहितानि तेभ्यः सवर्णाः श्रुतयो भवन्ति अनीह आत्मा मनसा समीहता हिरण्मयो मत्सखौ द्विचष्टे मनः स्वलिङ्गं परिगृह्य कामान् जुषन्निबद्धो गुणसङ्गतोऽसौ दानं स्वधर्मो नियमो यमश्च श्रुतं च कर्माणि च सद्व्रतानि सर्वे मनो निग्रह लक्षणान्ताः परो हि योगो मनसः समाधिः समाहितं यस्य मनः प्रशान्तं दानादिभिः किं वद तस्य कृत्यम् असंयतं यस्य मनो विनश्यतु दानादिभिश्चेत् अपरं किमेभिः मनोवशेन्ये हि अभवन् स्म देवाः मनश्च नान्यस्य वशं समेति भीष्मो हि देवः सहस सहीयान् युञ्जाद्वशेतं स हि देवदेवः तं दुर्जयं शत्रुमसह्य वेगम् अरुन्तुदं तन्न विजित्य केचितो कुर्वन्त्यसद्विग्रहमत्र मर्त्यैः मित्राण्युदासीन रिपून् विमूढाः देहं मनोमात्रमिमं गृहीत्वा ममाहमित्यन्धधियो मनुष्याः एषोऽहमन्योऽयमिति भ्रमेण दुरन्तपारे तमसि भ्रमन्ति जनस्तु हेतुः सुखदुःखयोश्चेत् किमात्मनश्चात्र हि भौमयोस्तत् जिह्वां क्वचित् सन्दशति स्वदद्भिः तद्वेदनायां कथमाय कुप्येत दुःखस्य हेतुर्यदि देवतास्तु किमात्मनस्तत्र विकारयोस्तत् यदङ्गमङ्गेन निहन्यते क्वचितो क्रुध्येत कस्मै पुरुषस्वदेहे आत्मा यदि स्यात् सुखदुःखहेतुः किमन्यतस्तत्र निजस्वभावः न ह्यात्मनोऽन्यत् यदि तन्मृषा स्यात् क्रुध्येत कस्मात् न सुखं न दुःखं ग्रहानिमित्तं सुखदुःखयोश्चेत् किमात्मनोजस्य जनस्य ते वै ग्रहैर्ग्रहस्यैव वदन्ति पीडां क्रुध्येत कस्मै पुरुषस्ततोऽन्यः कर्मास्तु हेतुः सुखदुःखयोश्चेत् किमात्मनः तद्धि जडा जडत्वे देहस्त्वचित् पुरुषोऽयं सुपर्णः क्रुध्येत कस्मै न हि कर्ममूलं कालस्तु हेतुः सुखदुःखयोश्चेत् किमात्मनस्तत्र तदात्मकोऽसौ नाग्नेर्हि तापो न हिमस्य तत् स्यात् क्रुध्येत कस्मै न परस्य द्वन्द्वं न केनचित् क्वापि कथञ्चनास्य द्वन्द्वोपरागः परतः परस्य यथाहमः संसृतिरूपिणः स्यात् एवं प्रबुद्धो न बिभेति भूतैः एतां स आस्थाय परात्मनिष्ठाम् अध्यासितां पूर्वतमैर्महर्षिभिः अहं तरिष्यामि दुरन्तपारं तमो मुकुन्दाङ्घ्रिनिषेवयैव श्रीभगवानुवाच निर्विद्य नष्टद्रविणो गतक्लमः प्रव्रजगां पर्यटमान इत्थं निराकृतो सद्भिरपि स्वधर्मात् अकम्पितो मुनिराहगाथाम सुखदुःखप्रदो नान्यः पुरुषस्यात्मविभ्रमः मित्रोदासीनरिपवः संसारस्तमसः कृतः तस्मात् सर्वात्मनारातात निगृहाण मनोधिया मय्यावेशितया युक्तः एतावान् योगसङ्ग्रहः एतं भिक्षुणा गीतां ब्रह्मनिष्ठां समाहितः धारयन् श्रावयन् शृण्वन् द्वन्द्वैर्नैवाभिभूयते इति श्रीमद्भागवते महापुराणे पारमहंस्यां संहितायाम् एकादशस्कन्धे भिक्षुगीतन्नाम त्रयोविंशोऽध्यायः। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। ओम श्री कृष्णा शरणं मम, श्री कृष्णा शरणं मम, श्री भागवत शरणं मम, श्री सद्गुरु शरणं मम, श्री सूत शरणं मम, श्री शुकदेव शरणं मम, श्री व्यास शरणं मम, श्री कुमार शरणं मम, श्री नारद शरणं मम, श्री ब्रह्मा शरणं मम, श्री विष्णु शरणं मम, श्री परब्रह्म शरणं मम, श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम, शरणं मम, शरणं मम। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे, श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। ओम मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। ओम स्वर्गे सत्ये च कैलासे वैकुण्ठे नास्त्ययं रसः अतपिबन्तु सद्भाग्याः मामुञ्चितकर्हिचित्। ओं नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओं श्रीकृष्णपरब्रह्मणे नमः। ओं श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणमेकादश स्कन्धः मुक्तिरित्वा अन्यथा रूपं स्वरूपेण व्यवस्थितिः अथ त्रयोविंशोऽध्यायः। ओं श्रीद्विजोवाच। Saluting the entire Guru Parampara, Bhagavatacharya Parampara, our Lord. Now we are into this great 11th Mukti Skandha, chapter 23, BHIKSHU GEETHAM. Here, some truths and facts are put in front of us. which we have to inquire and get convinced about and change our entire way of living accordingly, total attitude especially. Each of the mantra is so much valuable to bring that balance in our life, to bring that calmness in our life, to bring that non reacting, peaceful way of living all the time. And it in the beginning appears to be not so, not real, not correct, because we see the world itself is persecuting us physically, orally, vocally, superficially. This is what is sin. Somebody has beaten me physically, or somebody has abused me, so somebody has looted me, or somebody cheated me. ये तो हमको दिख रहा है. But what is said here is appearing to be something opposite of they being the cause of our dukkha. So in the beginning, it appears to be non-acceptable. But little later, if you pay attention, think about it, then what is said is 100% true. So the first sloka itself, yesterday we saw exhaustively, I am janaha na sukha dukkha hetuhu. The people in front of us are neither hetu of sukha nor they are the hetu of dukkha. Not only them, devata, atma, graha, karma, kala, none of them are the cause of sukha dukkha to this jiva, me, I. Param, then if not so, who is the hetu? Manah karanam amananti. It is the mind which is the cause. So, it is a mind which in the past has done something unruly or uncontrollable or wrong thing, which has brought this situation. In the present also, when that situation is there, instead of receiving it in a proper manner, again it is a mind by reacting giving us dukkha. And this mind alone, in and through the reaction to these situations, is sowing seeds again to become dukkhi even tomorrow or day after. This is how perennially mind is become the cause of dukkha. So yesterday I did not talk to you properly, so you felt bad. And naturally you took me as enemy. Today you have insulted me. So today you gave me insult to the dukkha, but you are not the cause. Yesterday's my mind which made me talk negative bad to you or do something wrong. Now today also when you insult me, reconcile karke ki it is me who was the one who did mistakes today. If I take it positive stride and okay, I'm sorry, forgive me. If I say at least in the present the dukkha would have been reduced. But now also we justify with our own mind, then continue dukkha. Then if today I don't say sorry to you, throughout life you become enemy to me and you also will act in such a way that I am miserable. This is how generally everybody lives life, sorry. So actual thing is it's a mind which is becoming the cause for sukha dukkha. First point. From the spiritual standpoint also, not only the mind cause of the dukkha, mind is the only cause of the dukkha, and only when the mind is transcended, all dukkha goes away. When you purify the mind to a great extent, the dukkha goes away, sukha goes away. But totally when you transcend it, sukha dukkha rahita, we can be in the ananda sthiti. That is achieved on the seat of meditation after long study of Shastra and Vedanta, where self alone is understood as reality, everything else is delusion, illusion, and everything else is the Maya Kruta Mana, then the Mana Kruta Trigunas, and Triguna Kruta Vrittis, and Vritti Kruta Karma, and the Karma leading Karma Phala. All that is in the purview of Maya only. In the pure self, none of them are there. So when one is aiming at that, he can even transcend the mind. Even if that is not done with some niyantrana on the mana through yoga adi, or filling the mana with even sadgunas, that will become less harmful. As we say, the prema, the kshama, ityadi gunas, when they are like the ointments, they are like the soothing antidotes for whatever the dukkha the world is seemingly giving to us. If mind is trained, the wounds of the world, to that, the mind applies the balm, soothes it. If mind is not trained or controlled, our own mind adds namak and mirch to the jakham which we receive from the world, again because of mind. This is what we have to understand. An entire job of life now is minding the mind, minding our mind. That is what is the entire theme. Manaha param karanamamananti and samsara chakram parivartayedyato. This is the mana which is going on, moving the samsara chakra for every individual. So my mind only is moving the samsara chakra of mine, where the dukkha, sukha dukkha, dukkha. In that way, I am going on in a circular manner from morning till night, from birth till death, and that is still I don't discover myself by transcending the mind. These are all the Vedantic way of understanding. But in most important thing, what is in Vyavahara, don't create more and more enemies and don't aggravate the situation by understanding or taking it wrongly that the things and beings around are the cause of sukha and dukkha. They are all innocent. See, हम उनका अगर ऋण है तब जाकर उनसे होगा, ईश्वर चाहते हैं तो उनके माध्यम से आएगा, अन्यथा कोई भी बंदा सुख दुख का हमारा कारण नहीं है. So that both the raga because of sukha, dvesha because of dukkha toward the people, both of them we can avoid, mind is available. And another interesting spiritual thing is that mind which is free from raga dvesha toward the things and beings, because it realizes that they are not causes sukha and dukkha. For such minds, the gurus are in search, the devatas are in search to pour all their blessings. The devatas pour the blessings by giving siddhi, through which those devatas will make this person serve the world. The gurus also are in search of such mana. When they find such mana yukta jiva, they pour all the tattva gnana and give them liberation, and through them they serve the world through this spirituality. Now we are not being used by either guru or devata because our mind is so filled with raga dvesha, because taking the world as cause of sukha dukkha. This is another thing. When we realize and don't react to the word, focus on the mana to be the cause of sukha dukkha and eliminate the raga dveshadi from the mana through one or the other yoga sadhanas, one or the other disciplines. Thus, instead of becoming available for the world to persecute, we, our mind, if we become available for the Guru and God to bless, then it will be a more better life. All that has to be worked out through the understanding of each of these mantras. Manahabaram karanam amananti samsara chakram parivartayet yat. Then, when we study Vedanta Grantha, as we said in the beginning also, yesterday also, so many other aspects also they teach us. As we said yesterday, as long as the Atma Jnana, Atma Vidya is not gained, in that Atma Avidya or Avidya, the Maya functions and Maya acts as mana. That mana so delicate, so sensitive, even at that level, if it is taking the help of the buddhi through vichara and vichakshana, it will be in the control. Else, what the mind does with its own ignorance, because mind doesn't know knowledge. Knowledge is the work of the intellect. Mind knows only imagination. Mind knows only projection, and it never thinks that this imagination projection will create a problem tomorrow. वो innocent है. So then he goes on imagining, projecting, all good only. But what you imagine project is not true. What happens to that alone happens. Therefore, when the imagination projections are fulfilled, the mind gets a habit of it and says, bar bar karo. That is called raga. The mind's imagination projections are thwarted. Suddenly, mind began reacting. It creates the dvesha, feels the dvesha in it. Understand mind? The moment these two come in the mind, raga, dvesha, nobody can stop our samsara in the world. And we have studied in Tattvabodha, Atmabodha in so many places. What is that? Samsaraha swapna tulyo hi raga dveshadi sankulaha swakale satyavad bhati prabodhe asat sati asat bhavet. So important, that sixth mantra of the Atmabodha, the samsara, whether it's a dream or waking, is same both are created by only one pair of things called as Raga, Dvesha, Adi, Sankula. And mind left to itself is filled with Raga, Dvesha. When the mind is under the control of the intellect which is under the discipline of the Guru or the Shastra Jnana, then the mind will have the beautiful positive projections. Instead of projecting negative in you, I can project the God in you. Can project the wonderful person in you with full qualities and all. So when these things are done by the mana backed by the intellect, I'll not have the ill feeling or raga dvesha towards anyone. I'll not suffer. सब में भगवान है ऐसा प्रोजेक्ट करते जाना, ये सत्य है, बट अभी वो हमको पता नहीं चला, लेकिन प्रोजेक्ट करते रहो. सो देन दैट सॉर्ट्स आउट दिस इश्यूज ऑफ संसार created by raga dvesha. So don't know the self, maya is functional, mind is created, starts projecting. Through that projection slowly gathers these negative two things of raga dvesha and all other kama krodha इनके बाद ही आते हैं. Then that person is always in samsara of doing something or the other and getting sometime positive result, he becomes sukhi, otherwise negative result become dukhi. Therefore, sukha dukkha hetu, my own mind. Hmm. So, guided by the intellect with the spiritual knowledge only, the mind has to function in the world. Should not be left to itself, mana. Nor the mana should listen to indriyas and deha also. Or send the mind into deep sleep or coma, or to dissolve the mind through yoga sadhana, or offer the entire mind at the feet of the Lord in bhakti, or in the Vedanta, transcend the mind. If we don't do any of this, the Vedantic transcendence of the mind, the surrender of the mind through the bhakti, purification of the mind through the yoga sadhana, engaging the mind in some positive values, emotions, without doing that, left to itself, the mind creates hell. This is what we all are feeling, and at least we are understanding. But many others, those who don't exposed to this type of knowledge, they are such a terrible victims of their mind that they don't even know that they are victimized by their own minds. Such people are the ones who fight wherever they are. It's a bus stand or railway station or a pani ka nal ka. कोई भी those lowest category you see people fight. They are fighting with other, thinking that other are the problem. They can never for 10,000 lives focus on their mind. At least now, by God's Guru's grace, we are feeling first of all the presence of mana, and we are feeling that it is of this non-positive nature now, because of which alone the samsara of sukha dukkha happening, and this is how the mind has to be repaired, rectified, purified. है ना, एनी ऑब्जेक्ट थोड़ा गड़बड़ कर रहा है तो आप रिपेयर कराते हो उसको. फैन ठीक घूम नहीं रहा, अरे आवाज़ कर रहा है, इलेक्ट्रिशियन को बुलाया, ठीक होता है. लाइक दैट एवरीथिंग. सो टू पता कर लें कि हमारा मन ऐसा खराब है, उसको ठीक कर दो, मन चंगा, देन एवरीवेयर इज गंगा. अंडरस्टूड. सेकंड वन नाउ वैसा मनोगुणान्वयी सृजते बलीयः तश्च ततश्च कर्माणि विलक्षणानि शुक्लानि कृष्णान्यथा लोहितानि तेभ्यः सवर्णाः श्रुतयः भवन्ति. This is how it happens. So simply told it is, but still it doesn't enter into our brain because we have not become the thinkers. We have not become analytical. We have not become subtle in our intellect to understand these happenings. Our life is days are coming, going, and emotions, imaginations, perceptions are coming and going. I am living with them, tossed up in sukha dukkha. It has become a habit to us. Is it not? Like in India, now it's little change from last 2 or 3 decades. Before that, for months together, the road will be so daridra and so bad. You can call it only as the road. There's no road at all. At the election time, very low level of material they use. Some road is made, which is within a month is gone. Now, till the next election time, everybody goes through that road only. The buses, the children's vehicles, then whatever cycles, scooters, they have even bailgadiya, auto vagera. Nobody bothers to repair it only. Same those Municipal ministers also will go through that. They look at it also. They don't remember because उनको उस पे जाना ना आदत हो गया. We used to everywhere now in India roads building ये roads वाला पूरा improve हो रहा है. अब उस 30 साल पहले देखो रोड ढूंढते ढूंढते you reach your destination but not the road. कच्चा रोड, एक बारिश से सब सत्यानाश. उसके बाद in that only every day the pregnant people in that only go in the car or in the rickshaw etc to the hospital. सब ऐसे जाते थे साइकिल वगैरह. इट वाज वेरी फनी टू रिक्शे में बैठते हैं तो इट वाज सो समटाइम तो ये तनु डोले मेरे मन डोले द गाना याद आता है. Same, why I'm saying that example, that is how we all are habituated to the mind's variety. We are not pausing enough to questioning it. We don't question our children, we don't question ourselves, we don't question our mind, we don't question everybody, anybody. We can't question them in general who are under our control. That just a routine जीते रहते. उतना दिमाग हमारा ना परिपक्व नहीं हुआ. हम ये ना काम चलाओ ब्रांड. You understand? Wherever that aggression is not there to make use of all available resources to bring transformation and improvements, the nation will not grow. Aggressively you have to know what are the human resources, what are the other resources, how to combine them and bring out the best things to serve the world or nation. If that is not there, that government is a dull government. In the same way, at the individual level also. If we are not pausing and thinking and aggressively knowing what is happening in and around me, especially with the mind, take full charge of it and scrutinize, analyze, observe, diagnose, and discover, investigate, karke, diagnose, karke, what exactly the mistake happening. If you don't find it and deliberately eliminate it, no, forget about becoming a saint or yogi or brahmagnani. Even in the ordinary world of life also, we can't be peaceful. Now feel one thing. I am feeling for myself. इतना जिंदगी जीकर if we cannot find the solace, comfort and peace in our mind, फिर क्या जिया बताओ? If that maturity is what's animals are better, no? They don't have that much of pain at the mind level. We so much दुख दुखी हो रहे हैं लेकिन खोज नहीं रहे कारण क्या? खोजते हैं तो we see outer thing. जना ही सुख दुख देखो. If they are not the देवता ग्रह कर्म काल, अरे you pause करो. It's in you. You are the one. You change yourself. The world will change for you. Okay. Second mantra is Baliyan Manaha, the powerful mana, Gunan Srujate. It is a one which creates the thoughts according to the three gunas, Rajasik, Sattvic and Tamasiko. Thereafter, what it does, Tatasya Karmani Vilakshanani. Then through that, it makes the karmas happen through us. It prompts us to do those three karmas. When the gunas are Sattvika, the Punya karmas are done. When the gunas are Rajasika, then we are doing the Mishrama type of karma. When the guna predominant is Tamasika, we do the Papa karma. So, mana, having developed the thoughts followed by the three types of actions of Punya, Mishrita, and Papa. Now, when you do that, the results are always readily available there for every type of action. Immediately, tebhyah savarnaha srutayaha bhavanti. So, according to those three types of karma done, because of three types of vrittis, because of the three gunas, that those three types of janma we get. That janma is at the bigger total picture level. If you see, the Shuddha Sattvika janma is Devatas ityadi, Mishrita janma is Manushya, Tamasika janma is Pasupaksha. In the human itself, again, Sattvika janma is who are born as Brahmana, saints, sages, and all. The Rajasic are who are little, and Rajoguni type of Kshatriya and Vaishyadi. Then the Tamaguna type is lazy and doing nothing. In that also, again, every day you can see the result of it. Sattvika karma ka phal mein, that day you are happy, cool. Rajasika karma ka phal mein, you are in agitated, angry, dukkha mood. Tamasika mein, you are such a lazy. miserable, frustrated. So this is the meaning of Janma. So they get those Janmas means we told Janma and the total as Devata Manushya as well as the Pashupakshadi. Again in the Manushya only again Janma means born in a good Satvika family, Rasika or Tamasika. Again in that also in a day schedule we can see the phala of these karmas as like one day. All day you are in a Satvika mood of love, happiness to every, beautiful. That is the result fructification of whatever sattvic karma done earlier. Which earlier we don't know. It can be yesterday, it may be 10,000 lives back. उसका हिसाब कोई लगा नहीं सकता कब कर्म किया हमने पाप पुण्य का जिसका फल अब आ रहा है. Exactly that calculation only God knows. We can never know. That's called that day we are born in Sattvic Guna. Early morning got up, doing all the puja, gone to the temple and lovingly talked to everyone and food also taken very less. That was Sattvic. Maintained the Vyasa and came to the class also. All these 6 classes of Swamiji attended today. Oh, that is also on time, Tanchan. Oh. And every class essence was caught, understood. This is the Satguna Phala because of some Sattvic karma done. The other day, Subha utte hi, the anger starts, the frustration starts, and then quarrel with the people, an argument for everything. And totally, the schedule is so unplanned and disturbed that effort is put so much, but nothing is achieved. Is it not? Some of the day it is like that. Situations also prompt us, and we also become like that. That is the meaning of he is born into Rajoguna that day. I am telling you that one day also, I am telling you again in the entire life, some are of Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic, and also we are saying in total Sattvic is Devata, Rajasic is Manushya, Tamasic is Pashupakshi Yoni. All of them are Janma. That's a total Janma. This is in the Janma in the human being, in everyday Janma. And in everyday also, the moods keep on swinging. Up to 10 o'clock in a सात्विक मूड, 10 to 6 o'clock राजसिक, उसके बाद तामसिक, ऐसे भी होते. And the other day, whole day doesn't begin only up to 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. 4 classes हो गए स्वामी, अभी उठे ही नहीं है. That day the overpowering of तमोगुण is there. And कुछ करने को सोचता नहीं हो, बिस्तर से उठते नहीं. Even दान मांजना भी मुश्किल होता है उस दिन. The mind is such an utterly lazy position of zero inspiration, not at all. This is the result. That day is because something passed. It can be eaten the tamasika bhojanam. It can be terribly, troublesome or whatever. उसका फल जो है इस तरह से मिलता है. So, mana, okay, it is made up of Maya, yeah, it has got 3 gunas inherently, yes. Then it has ability to project, yeah, it projects the 3 vrittis of Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic. Not at the same time. ये generally बता रहे. Then the Sattvic vritti जब है Sattvic karma, Rajasic vritti, Rajasic karma, Tamasic karma. Then the time of fructification, the Sattvic karma leads to the Sattvic phala. That पुण्य फल सुख होता है. राजसिक कर्म दिवस राजसिक फल सुख दुख मिश्रण होता है. तामसिक कर्म तामसिक फल इट्स गॉट दुख. Clear? Sukha dukkha, therefore, our own mind, its own vrittis, according to the vritti, it's pravritti. Then, having studied all these drama of the mind, only the books are written, in which it is mentioned, these are the tamasika vrittis of mana. When you do this type of dukkha will come. Observations are made, then they are written for our betterment, for us to study and follow. These are the Rajasic Vritti Pravritti of the Mana, which gives this type of Mishram Phala. So these are the Sadgunas of Sattvam Guna Mana. When they are adopted and acted accordingly, then the result is Sukha. Is it not? When you are traveling somewhere, your mood is Sattvic. The other fellow, your co-traveler also Sattvic. अच्छा एक दूसरे परिचय कर लिया, प्रेम से बात कर ली. Throughout journey you talk to each other, help each other. What a good journey that is. This is like instant coffee, instant sattoguna, instant result. सम कॉफीज रात को आप फिल्टर में लगाओ तो सुबह फिल्टर होएगा उसको दूध में डाल के. अनदर इज इंस्टेंट भी है ब्रूइंग. सो सात्विक थिंग लिटिल राजसिक मानो बोथ ऑफ यू देन गुर गुर के एक दूसरे को देखेंगे, बात भी नहीं करेंगे, हेल्प तो करेंगे नहीं ना मांगेंगे. And he is the inner seat, you are outer seat, and that person will have to go out. He will only stand like a watchman chowkidar in the palace. This fellow should understand he wants to go. Then he will move the leg. आधा भी करेगा वो. He will observe the size of the leg of that fellow. Only that much only give path. He will move like that. करके. Then he will come. Then close. No talking in 5 hours of travel. Even the air hostess comes to give something. This fellow moves back, but उसको लेकर उनको दे दो ना, तो नहीं देंगे. But in the sattvic mood, he will take first. Actually, he gives that person first. He also said, thank you very much. Instead of taking for yourself, you gave me, so happy. And he also shares. देखो, राजसिक मूड में थोड़ा हाथ पैर, तामसिक मूड में थोड़ा हाथ पैर लग गया, सीधा बैठते हैं तो लोग पैसे क्यों होते, क्यों ट्रैवल करते हैं. Then the other fellow come थोड़ी इसे थोड़ा लग्जरी आता है, अगर बर्दाश्त नहीं कर सकते अपना बस खरीद लेना. दैट क्वारल स्टार्ट्स. द बस इज नॉट योर ओन, ये सबके लिए होता है. यू नो दैट इज तामसिक लीडिंग राजसिक फाइटिंग. फाइटिंग स्टार्ट्स बिकॉज तमोगुण of non-acceptance and all, and goes into rajoguna of dhanadhan fighting, instantaneous phala. In our own house also, we can see the sattvic moods early morning, and then husband making coffee and giving her, which is every day's routine also. That day, she also very nice. Wow, badhiya sa, itna interesting. The whole day, they never come to class that day. They're so happy. So we are seeing exactly in our own life. That's what is written here. We are told to become aware of it. But the $1,000,000 point is never blame Devata, Graha, Karma, Kala, including the Manushya, as the cause of both Sukha as well as Dukkha. Second sloka is very clearly told how the mind projects 3 types of vrittis, prompts us to do 3 types of karma, and forces us to go through the 3 types of results. Sattvic, Rasic, Tamasic. So, manah gunanvai srujate baliyah, then tatascha karmani vilakshanaani, shuklani krushnani taloitani, tebhyah savarnaha srutayah bhavanti. ठीक है. So that dukkha of rajoguna or too much of humiliation of tamoguna, if you don't want, then the sattva guna mana बनाकर सत्व गुण के मन के हिसाब से कर्म करते रहो तो वो वाला फल आएगा. In that sattva guna mana, there is activeness, there is dynamism, there is smile, there is readiness to accept others, the forgiving others, taking initiative to help others, taking things not seriously but lightly and but sincerely. So these are all the traits of sattvic mana. All those are mentioned as values in Gita in 12th chapter, 13th chapter, 4th, 16th chapter, 2nd chapter. In Vidurniti, every day, some or the other, qualities we are learning which make mana sattvika. How beautiful that life. Ah. That training we have to give to ourselves. It won't happen. And we need not be arrogant like that. Why should I become sattvic? Log will take me for granted. Abhay, they are not taking only now you. Taking granted ki bahut dur hai with your tamogun and rajogun. ये ट्रेनिंग देना पड़ता है to the student, to the children, always to be in the sattva guna of the mana. Oh, and about this topic, like it is explained here beautifully by Bhikshu, similar limestone में हमको मन के बारे में विवेक चूड़ामणि also gives a beautiful, I think, set of 10 to 12 shlokas about mind. मन प्रसूते विषयान शेषान स्थूलात्मना सूक्ष्मतयात भोक्तुः. Same there also, Shuklan, Krishnanyata, Lohitani, like that it will speak there. Tasmat manah karanamasya jantoho, bandasya mokshasya vavidane, bandasya malinam, rajogunaihi, mokshasya shuddham, virajastamaskam. The beautiful, a huge sequence, Manonama Mahavyagraha, Charavisharanya Bhumishu, Charatatana Gachanto, Sadhavaye, Amumukshavaha. This is big slokas of 10, 12, as beautifully spoken there about the mana. Very few places it is spoken. There one beautiful Vedantic way, that is more and more ये थोड़ा व्यवहार भी मिलाकर न ह्यस्त्य विद्या मनतो मनसोतिरिक्ता मनो ह्यविद्या भवबंध हेतु तस्मिन् विनष्टे सकलम विनष्टम विजृंभितेस्मिन् सकलम विजृंभते. It's a powerful sloka. Mind itself is avidya. Nahi asti avidya manasa atirikta. There is no avidya other than mind. Mano hi avidya and bhavabandha hetu. Tasmin vinaste, when the mana is vinashta, the avidya is vinashta. But vijrumbitesmin, when the mana is vijrumbita, then avidya kruta kama karma samsara dukkha, everything is born now. And Shuddha mana with Shuddha Sattva Guna is a hetu for moksha. But the mana with Mishrana of Rajas and Tamas, very less Sattva, that is called as Bandhan ka Karana hai. And in Manandukya Upanishad we have seen Manosau Hyamini Bhave. And how much in Manandukya Upanishad the 7-8 mantras came about how the mind is cause of our samsara, how we have to take care of it. Everywhere that is. And that is why in the next sloka we are going to see Parohi Yoga Manasa Samadhi, and the chapter also concludes with that. So, in short, I am just trying to analyze for myself and you. There is a world, there is Deha, there is Prana, there are Indriyas, there is Buddhi, and there is Atma. In सब के बीच में है Mana. It's a central, unavoidable, inevitable agent. Mana alone receives the stimulus from outside through Deha Indriya inside. And Mana alone expresses all the reactions of the Buddhi outside through the Indriyas. Therefore, it becomes such an important aspect in life that most of us have to mind that mind. First of all, become aware that I have a Mana. Abhi aankh band karke dekho. Those continuous thoughts is called as Mana. The thought can be Rasic, Sattvic or Tamasic at this moment. That has to be taken into hand, and we have to even remove the malinata of Rajas Tamas and paint it with all Shuddha Sattva Guna. Let that mind become means to receive the world, to respond to the world. That's how we have to live our life intelligently to reduce the dukkha or the bondage and to be in more and more peaceful state, we say, more than happy state. Because happiness and misery are opposite to each other, sorrow. They come and go. But peacefulness is same whether there is a happy situation or sorrowful situation. That is more covetable even than the happiness. Shanta sthiti is better than sukha sthiti. Next one. Aniha atma manasa samahita hiranmayo matsakau dvichaste manaswalingam parigruhya kaman juhannibaddo gunasangata asau. Asau means asau purushaha, asau jivaha. That means me. What I do and what is the Atma's role, it is mentioned here. Atma is aniha. This only doesn't do anything. He is there only, that's all. Hiranmayaha, pure consciousness. Matsakaha, that consciousness is lending all powers to all our upadhis to the mind by its own presence. The power in that conscious self alone is called the Ananta Shakti, with which the Buddhi is able to analyze, mind is able to imagine, senses are able to perceive, the hands and legs have to work, the body is able to move. Remember the samyata between the Chaitanya Atma and electricity. If you look with your eyes naked, nothing is seen in the electricity or even petrol. But when they are put it towards your respective instruments, gadgets, whatever, you see how much of the variety of the works are done. In the presence of electricity, the filament gives light. The dynamo is making that thing to move, and to that you have put the wings. It has become a fan. The wings moving give us the breeze. Like that, one electricity without itself modifying through every of the equipment, making function accordingly. Yeah? Without electricity, all equipments, heater heat नहीं करेगा, cooler cool नहीं करेगा. bulb nahi jalega. Is it not? So too, the presence only of the Chaitanya Atma, taking its presence, all upadhis are working. Here we are discussing about the mana, therefore he is the Matsakha. Here the Sakha is such a close friend that because of whom only I am there. Here Matsakha means I am the Jiva, that mana is my, sir, that Paramatma is my Sakha, the pure self. Again, what is his Sakhatva? Udvichaste. He is only being in his presence. He is present there. Udvichaste means looking to me, towards me. What is the looking of that Atma towards me? Becoming aware, that's it. So I am the Jiva, in me my own self is there. It is Hiranmaya, Chaitanya Sarupa. It is Sakha to me because with its presence only other equipments of me are functioning, and his Udvichaste, his job is only to remain. See that Udvichaste is Sakshi Bhava or Chaitanya Rupa. बस कुछ करता नहीं. And it is Aniha. Try to feel this more and more. And in fact, that is my real self. And I lost my parichaya with my own self. This is the most funniest thing in our life that happens. Only Vedanta reveals all these truths. I lost introduction with my own self. I am the Aniha Atma. I am Hiranmayaha. I am the Sakha to this Jiva, whom I am thinking now I am. And Udvichaste. This is the position of the real self in us. It is consciousness, it lends all the powers, it only witnesses, and it is Sakha, and it is Hiranmaya, and it has no Iha. It has nothing to gain, therefore nothing to do. But in the presence of the Paramatma, I, the Jiva, taking my Linga Sharira, which is none other than the mind here, do all the actions and get the results. And all the actions I do depending on the guna. That's the second line. Jivaha means asau jivaha means I. Swalingam manaha parigruhya. Taking the mind, which is my linga sharira. Parigruhya means identifying with, using it or owning it. Kamanjushan, wanting to enjoy the objects of the world. Nibaddha gets bound. Guna sangataha. So, because of his attachment to the sang of these three gunas of the mana. So, I with my mind. In that mind, three gunas are there. Through three gunas, I want to enjoy the Vishayas of the world. For that sake, whatever is to be done, while doing so, I get bound with my mind to the world. So, Jivaha Swalingam Manaha Parigruhya Gunasangataha Kamanjushan Nibaddha Bhavati. I am bound to Sukha Dukkha because of my mind, which has got the three gunas and prompting me to those three guna related the karma, and in that kaman jushan, wanting to pursue or enjoy the things, whatever. Nibaddha. This is the nibaddhata here is what? Two things. One is bound to be sukh dukhi. एक संसार हो गया. दूसरा निबद्ध is bound only to the upadhis and the external world and to the jiva bhava finally, and never ever able to recognize his own real self. Two types of bandhana. Not knowing the real self is one bandhana. This extremity is the other extreme is bandha to the continuous sequential flow of sukha dukha dukha sukha 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 dukha 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 dukha. ये permutation कुछ भी हो सकता है. We are bound. So manaswalingam parigruhya gru kaman jushana nibaddha gunasangataha asau. So asau jivaha gunasangataha swalingam mana parigruhya kamanjushana nibaddha bhavati. What about the Atma? Atma anihaha hiranmayaha matsakaha udvichaste. Manasa samihata, it is always with mana. It never goes because it goes, mana doesn't work. You understand? मनः सब सा समीहता मतलब मन के साथ जुड़ा हुआ ही रहता वो. This Atma, not for its sake. It is independent of the mana. But it is for the sake of mana. आत्मा है नहीं, पेट्रोल नहीं तो गाड़ी चलेगी नहीं. समीहता मनसा इसके साथ रहते हुए. It is all the four. Udvichaste, Hiranmayaha, Matsakaha, as well as Anihaha, the self in me. Then I, who is actually the self, pulled myself away from its identity, maintaining my own in specific identity, then I have owned my own linga, sharira, and mana, and according to three gunas of mana, the variety of actions are done, then the results are done. I am bound to. And one of the very important thing is gunam jushan. Okay, that is kaman jushan, wanting to repeatedly enjoy the objects of the world. It can be objects, it can be situations, it can be emotions, कुछ भी सब काम्य वस्तुओं में आ जाते हैं. Somebody wants to enjoy the knowledge, then sattva guna he goes and gains knowledge. He is caught up there. If it's an atma jnana, it's liberation. As we said yesterday, somebody is enjoying the prema, the love. So that type of attachments he goes into. Somebody want to enjoy the cool breeze, they go to those places. Some want to enjoy through the senses. If it is mouth, then go to hotel. If it is sound system, go there. So kamanjushan nibaddha. And then the nibaddhata, I can explain little more, only very little, not detailedly. See, the nibaddhata is both sukha and dukkha. Like you want to enjoy the kama of sound. So you go to a musical concert. Then you have gone for kama anjushan. Then there, depending again the maturity of the mind, the bandhana of the sukha dukkha comes. First of all, if the program started 10 minutes late, you only went that program, but you can't understand what are the reasons, but you become dukhi there. Is it not? Then the song started. If they are not of your liking, then again dukhi hote hain. You came to listen to ears and enjoy, but what is he going to sing? You don't know, no? Sometime in between, again suddenly, aapke farmaish, two, three nice songs of your choice he sings. You enjoy it. Or I can nibaddan vaha, sukhi dukhi. Some of the times, all bhajans are flop only. He was not selected properly or you didn't like. Then you come out only with dukha, यार इतने पैसे खर्च करके गया मैं, सब बेकार था. Other day, every song is of your pasand. And you make your own whistle if it is whistleable. You're clapping also, all that you do. And again miserable, यार सवा घंटा 1.5 घंटे में खत्म हो गया. 4 घंटे लगना चाहिए था. That also is dukkha, no? I hope that singer comes frequently. Where is the mind stopping in its own projections of Rajo, Tamo, Sattva, Vritti? And where is it stopping to get the accordingly results of Sukha and Dukkha and Mishrama? That is called the bondage. Now, isme the singer or the organizers, all of them are very little nimitta. Whether they are there or not, singing or not singing, your choice is yours to go. Therefore, the whole problem started for you. Problem of Sukha or Dukkha, your own mana. Like that, you can understand hundreds and thousands of examples. This is the most important sloka. Then, therefore, these two mantras which are going to come now, 45, 46, are little serious, sincere, and not so difficult to understand. They are simple. What Bhagavan says here is, or the great Brahmana, Bhikshu now, these are the things Shastra tells you to do. You are doing that. Having done all of them, if you have not achieved the purpose of all of them, called the Niyantrana of the Mana, Niyantrana of the Mana, whenever you talk, all the four things you have to understand. Controlling it from the negative, making it to and mastering it, making do it positive, and even transcending it by choice to enter into the self. If you don't say all the four, say only one, but you have to accept all the four. Mana Niyantrana includes all. What is the Niyantrana of the scooter? First of all, it should not go the way it goes. Then you should control it. Second, third, you take it where you want. Fourth, you should be able to drop that scooter and go home. अगर उसका stand ही नहीं है, अब उतरोगे नहीं. You know, once sometime we used to have a child, stand होता ही नहीं उसको, वो कहीं रहता है रिपेयर वाला. Then उसको दीवार पे ठिकाते हैं या कोई नहीं है, खंबे पे लगाते हैं, तो किसी को कहते हैं यार वो खरीद के लाना है मुझे साइकिल पकड़. Remember all those things, मजा आता है. You should be able to drop it and go, no? स्कूटर को आप पार्क करके आपके घर में अंदर भी जाना चाहिए. दैट इज कॉल्ड टोटल कंट्रोल ऑफ स्कूटर. यू कांट टेक इट बेडरूम में. So to on the meditation, you have to transcend the mind. Before that, use it for positive work. Before that, master it. Before that, pull it away from negative. तो नेगेटिव से खींच लेना, अपने आप में कंट्रोल रखना, पॉजिटिव में रखना, फिर जब ध्यान का जरूरत है उसको छोड़कर स्वरूप में चले जाना. ऑल दिस. तो हियर ही सेज, these are all the great activities you have done as told by Shastra. But the result of all of that is the mastery of the mind, means all these four. If that is not achieved, all these sadhanas are not great use. On the other hand, by some or the other yogic techniques, sadhanas, if you have achieved the mastery of the mind, then all these sadhanas, whether you do them or don't do, the result is same. That you are master of your mind, you are master of your life through your mind. What are those activities which are told to us to be done, to be doing, and the result of all that must be the control of the mana. See that? Chant this mantra 45. Danan sadarmo niyamo yamascha sutani karmani cha sadvratani sarve mano nigraha lakshanantaha parohi yogo manasah samadhi. That Brahmana said this, Bhagavan Krishna approved it, Shukadevji taught it, Vedavasya has written it. From that moment till now, millions of the gurus taught them to disciples, millions of disciples accepted, practiced, and realized that much powerful, authentic are these two slokas. You can't take them lightly. What are the things? First, dhanam. A variety of dhanas are there. So many dhana we do. Different occasions are there for the dhanam. And every day also there. Nitya dhanam also are there. You can do. And occasional dhanam you do during festivals, during your shraddha karma or something at home. And then the punya karma, punya kala comes of some of the other grahana ityadi, or when you go to tirtha kshetra, dana. Or the danas are done if some arishta is happening to get freed from it. Or even when things are going good, you should do dhanam. Though the children passed, do some दान. फेल फिर भी दान करो ताकि थोड़ा दोष है तो निकल जाता है. सो वेराइटी ऑफ दी रिसीवर्स आर देयर. एंड शास्त्र के हिसाब से क्या दान में देना, किसको दान में देना, ऑल दैट इज क्लियरली रिटन. With maturity, with simple common sense, most of the things can be known. Yeah. So the mukhya two danas we are speaking are, one is annadanam, second is abhayadanam. If you add spirituality, then it is Jnana Dhanam. Annadhanam is giving food, Abhayadanam is giving security. In Shastra, in the way, spiritually, Jnana Dhanam is ultimate because that gives mukti. Annam is immediate anger remover and gives life to that person. So to the Abhayam is protecting him. Then a part of these only the Vastradana, the Dhanadana, the Bhudana, the Godana, then the Shramadana, then Hiranyadana, the Vagdana, Hazaro have. Dhanam we do. Second is what? Swadharma. It's all exhaustively studied. I will not say that. The Varna Dharma and the Ashrama Dharma. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Varna, Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanava, Sannyasi, Ashrama, Dharma, Palanam. Then Niyamaha. So the Niyamas are our control with regard to our own self. Self-discipline is called Niyam. Niyamit Jeevan mein rehna. With ourselves. Yamaha, living with the world in such a proper manner, we are not liable to the world, they are called Yama. Following the traffic rules is Yama. Controlling the vehicle with my knowledge of driving vehicle is Niyama. Both of them are required for a safe journey of yourself and others also. So the Ahimsa, Satyamastaya, Brahmacharya, Parigraha, Yamaha, Shaucha, Santosha, Swadhyaya, Stabhishta, Pranidhanani, Niyamaha. So Niyamas are to control myself. Like Shaucham, it is for myself. Santoshaha, it is for myself. Swadhyayaha, it is myself. Tapaha, it is for myself. Ishvara Pranidhana is myself. But the other five, Ahimsa, is not for myself. You have to beat yourself sometime. Don't do himsa. Satyam, झूठ दूसरों को झूठ बोल के धोखा नहीं देना. अस्तेय, don't cheat the money from others. Stealing. Then brahmacharyam, don't overdo anything to trouble others अपरिग्रह, दूसरों की चीज़ों को इकट्ठा करके मत रखो. These are all related to the world. The yama. Yama related to the world, niyama related to me. Disciplines. So we have to know and we have to live. That's a dignified human being life. Dignified human being life is not studying some academic sciences and getting good job and lot of salary and suited, booted, coated. That is a modern definition. Dignified life is knowing what are the ways I have to live with myself and with the world so that I am neither liability to myself nor to the world too. That is called actual education. When this is added along with your academics, then you become such an asset to the society. एक बंदा बहुत टेक्निकली साउंड भी है और इन एनी ऑफ द फील्ड्स, लॉयर हो, डॉक्टर हो, इंजीनियर हो, बट यम नियम युक्त भी है, ही इज अ महापुरुष. He will be such a great helper, savior of the world. Professionally, he has got all skills, but yaman yam hai, nahi hai, then he can become a problem to the world. Yaman yam hai, he can at least live a decent life without troubling others, even if he cannot help much. But along with yaman yama, you have some professional abilities and join, then so nepe suhaga. So dhanam, okay, swadharmaha, understood, niyamas, understood, yamaha, then shrutani. Shrutani means variety of listening to the good noble words from various sources. Direct meaning of Shruti is listening to Upanishads. It is lower level, listening to Itihasa, Purana, Smriti Grantha. Then Shrutani means listening to some good words of some people of the world. देखो हर एक बंदे को थोड़ा थोड़ा अच्छा ही तो पता होता है. We are not dead people. We are all human beings. We have our brain. By being human itself, some inherent goodness is there in all of us. Knowledge is in all of us. Whether it is recognized and expressed or not, that is secondary. तो पूछो तो कोई बंदा बताएगा. So Shrutani means listening to from someone. You heard from your own parents, your own elders, your own grandparents. They are not Mahagnani Siddha Purusha and they are not speaking Bhagavad Gita and all. But they speak the values only, good things out of their experience. So ये सारे इतना हमने सुना. Okay, that Shrutani includes both all the audio visual source of knowledge which we gain through the TVs or cell phones or internets or whatever they may be, even the movies, etc. That also Shrutam Drishtam. Through them also lot of wisdom can be gained. All these are basically to convey knowledge only to us to live a decent life. Everything is recognized by human being by the grace of the Lord only when that human being wants to recognize it to serve the world. After recognizing it, then he will misuse it and he becomes slave to that and he is kicked by that thing only. Oh, alag baat. Shrutani is all these sources of knowledge. Then next one, karmani cha. Lot of sat karmas we might have done. Noble activities of the world. Karmani cha. Okay, then sadvratani. In the occasionally taking up and doing lot of those vratas. The mauna vratas, the upavasa vratas. Is it not? Lot of the weekly vratas. And then tirthayatra vratam. How many vratas? They're all Kruchra, Chandrayana vratas are there. Then, in Bhagavatam, the Pumsavana vratas are there. The Payo vratas are there. So many. People do that. Santoshi Mata vrat. फिर नवरात्रों में जगराता वाला रथ. फिर जय बोले मैया आगे करके they climb वैष्णो देवी by foot and come. That is another व्रत. सद्व्रत कहते हैं सबको. So how many are done? Good karmas are done, good vratas are done, lot of dhanam is done, lot of what you say, ki yama niyamas are done, shruti is done, swadharma done, dhanam. All of that done. But for what? Sarve mano nigraha lakshanantaha. All of them conclude end in the result of the lakshana. What lakshana? Mano nigraha. मन को निग्रह करने वाला लक्षण या लक्ष्य प्राप्ति के लिए ही ये सारे साधनाएं हैं. Now, did anybody tell us this? Did we ask them, anyone elders? Without knowing the main purpose, we went on doing it. The doings were happening. Some external punya appreciation is coming to us. But the main purpose for which they are all taught, called as Mano Nigraha, is never achieved. Therefore, from today, whether practicing Swadharma, whether practicing the Dhanadi karma, the Yama, Niyama, Shrutam, Satkarma, Sadvrata, all of them are only for Mano Nigraha. Mano Nigraha Lakshanantaha. Now, from this Bhikshu approved by Vyasji, Shukadevji, Lord Krishna, one sentence is being spoken now. It is one of the top, we can say, 10 or 20 lines of the Bhagavad Purana. टॉप 20 में डाल दो, क्योंकि 18,000 श्लोक है ना, वो सारे अच्छे अच्छे बातें आए हैं और आएंगे भी आगे, तो टॉप 50 और 20 में यू पुट इट. In the top 50 they will come, but for our sadhana it is top only, first only. Say this one 11 times, all of us, myself also including, because ये सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट. पहले उच्चारण करो, फिर अर्थम संक्षेप में बताएंगे. पढ़ो. परो हि योगो मनसः समाधिः, 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 मरो परो हि योगो मनसः समाधिः, परो हि योगो मनसः समाधिः, परो हि योगो मनसः समाधिः, परो हि योगः मनसः समाधिः. परो हि योगः, supreme yoga, is manas samadhi. Samadhi here is bringing the mind into your control and awareness and concentration. अपने नियंत्रण में, अपने एकाग्रता में, आपके अवेयरनेस में मन को लाना, यहाँ मनस का समाधि कहते. सम्यक अधीयते अस्मिन् इति समाधि. It can be interpreted in so many ways. When the mind is under the dhi fully, and dhi is under the guidance of Guru and Shastra. गुरु और शास्त्र से एजुकेटेड बुद्धि के अधीन में जब मन होता है, वही परम योग है. विद दैट इक्विपमेंट, मन बुद्धि इंटीग्रेटेड, both of them are fully equipped with the Shastra Jnanam. To such person, the Deha Indriyas will only do the yoga to reveal the Atma Vastu to him. He will not become a bhogi to get bound. Therefore, which yoga you are doing? Karma. Which your bhakti, your jnana, ashtanga. Only one question he asked. Did your mana come under your control? Nahi aaya. Then you have not done any yoga. In other words, these are all yogas explained. But the Paroho Yoga, Supreme Yoga, then all these four is Manas Samadhi. Why? Because all these four yogas of Karma Bhakti Ashtanga Jnana, they are under the control of this Manas Samadhi Yoga. Why? Only when the mind is controlled, you can do the Jnana Yoga of Shravana Mananam. Is it not? Only when the mind is controlled, you can do the Bhakti Yoga of all Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam. अनकंट्रोल्ड माइंड से कहाँ होएगा आपका भक्ति साधना? बोलो. ओनली थ्रू द मन इन द कंट्रोल लिटरेलिटी दैट यमनियम आसन प्राणायाम प्रत्याहार इत्यादि योग साधनास वी कैन डू, एंड विथ ए डिसिप्लिन माइंड ओनली वन कैन एम्बार्क इन डूइंग कर्म योगा. इज इट नॉट? दैट इज व्हाई इट्स कॉल्ड परोह योगा, मनस समाधि. आप इस बात को कितने बार भी याद रखो, उतना आप लकी हो, उतना बढ़िया पुरुषार्थ कर रहे हो. And all that's lead toward, I have my own mind, it has to be brought into samadhi or ekagrata or sukshmata or under the control of intellect, or consciously it should be brought into our control. I must be master of it. If this conviction comes and we focus on that. अब क्या कर रहे हैं हम? Two things. Without controlling mind, we are trying to do all spiritual sadhana. None of them are perfectly done. Result is not coming. Second is one, without controlling the mind, we are creating raga, dvesha, kama, krodha and indulging the world and getting kicked by the world. Thus, suffering in the world also, suffering in spirituality by not getting result also. Both we are doing. जगत में निर्वहणा व्यवहार कर रहे हैं, स्पिरिचुअलिटी में आ रहे हैं क्लासेस में, पर दोनों के मिलने का ज़्यादा नुकसान ही हो रहा है. Why? The mind with which you have to do both of them, that is not brought into samadhi. But remember, if the mind is fully controlled, when you are in the world, excellent performance you are doing is only success, joy, etc. Same way, when the mind is fully in my control, anytime karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, ashtanga yoga done, the result of that spectacular result also is experienced. Therefore, these are some revolutionary important thoughts in the flow of mukti giving jnana in the flow of variety of bhakti, ashtasi. All these were going on, going on, going on in Bhagavatam. Now this important topic is being touched here through that Bhikshu Geetam, Parohi Yogaha Manasas Samadhi. And at a higher level, by remaining or maintaining the witness to the mana deeply, intensely, when we are not supporting the mana, just by being witnesser, all the din and roar of the mana starts quietened, quietened, quietened. Clear? Then in the total Sakshi Bhava, when you are there, man totally dissolves. When the mind dissolved, the Sakshi of the man also dissolves. Who remains then? The one who was becoming like a Sakshi, called a Chaitanya Atma, that is experienced. From after the experience again, you can call for the mind for its presence to use it as an instrument. Like a painter takes the brush and puts it in different colors as per the requirement and paints it. And शाम को सब paint होने all the brushes he will wash in the turpentine oil something, then he makes all clear, उसको पोंछ कर अच्छी तरह तैयार next day. So to a yogi, a jnani, what he does, takes the brush called mind. हाँ, which color? तमोगुण कलर ले आओ. किसी को जम के पिटाई करनी है, रजोगुणा किसी को डांटना है, सत्वगुणा किसी को प्यार करना है. तो he will put all these paints to his mana, then uses that painting, then धोकर इसको रख देंगे, खत्म बात. Like Gurudev brings the mind and loves the disciples or devotees who have done a very good work. That's called, he has painted his mana with the Satoguna. Sometime when they don't do things properly or indisciplined or something, he'll paint with the Rajaguna and just blast. He never used Tamoguna. उनको जरूरत नहीं पड़ी ज़्यादा. Is it not? So, did you remember today's Mahavakya? Parohi yogaha manasas samadhihi. टुडे इसका 108 बार पढ़ लेना आप, मैं भी करूंगा. So that before you sleep, keep on chanting this so deeply, intensely, feeling for oneself, yeah, it's my mind, I have to bring it to samadhi. That is the highest yoga. With this, the inner adhyatmika pragati gained, inner peace of mind is gained. In the world also, I can live a decent, balanced life with minimum of problem. So may I mind this mind for its own samadhi. परो योग मानस. ऐसा सोचते हुए ऐसा सोचो कि रात भर वही चलते रहे एंड सुबह उठते ही फर्स्ट दैट थॉट. In fact, you can hold on to this sadhana. I have to bring my mind into my own control, mastery, transcendence. इसमें सब आ गया, परोही योगा बोल दिया ना. Now, the other way around. If you have not used all these up above said sadhanas for the final achievement, mana control, everything is done but mind is not controlled, then what is the use of all these things? He'll ask it in the next sloka. He says, Samahitam yasya manah prashantam, both ways. If somebody's mind is fully became prashanta, danadvi kimbada tasya krutyam, there's a krutyata, but must be done thing to all the above said list of danadi ityadi. जिसका मन कंट्रोल में नहीं है, उसको मन कंट्रोल में लाने के लिए ये सब करना पड़ता है. आ गया मन कंट्रोल में, all these are not required. The fulfillment of all of that is achieved. This mind you put at the feet of the Lord or in the inquiry of the self, you get the self. This is the first two lines. Third one is what? Asamyatam yasya manaha. If the mana is not controlled, vinashyata. Mind bhi डूबेगा, हमको लेकर भी डूबेगा. You and I, the jivas. Then danadibhisched avaram kimebi is a most important point in this slok. Such person who has never controlled his mind, what is the use of for him doing all the danadi karma? बेसिक मन ही शुद्ध नहीं है. अशुद्ध अनकंट्रोल्ड माइंड से ऊपर ऊपर सुपरफिशियली व्हेन यू डू ऑल द अबव थिंग्स, व्हाट इज द यूज ऑफ दैट? मींस व्हाट? You can never achieve them. So the total thought, if you see, if first and foremost recognize there is a mind. It is unruly and uncontrolled. Therefore, you have to bring it to control. For bringing it to control only, all the dhanadi you do. And after doing that, ensure the mind is controlled. Then use the mind for the Attvachintan and Moksha. You need not continue other sadhanas. Above said. यहाँ आप रोक सकते हो. This is the main explanation. Then the corollary, the auxiliary, the second explanation is what? You say that you have done all of those things, but did your mind come into control? I ask. He did not come. Then what is the use of all of them? Is it not? And also, you are not aiming at control of the mind, but casually, mechanically only you are doing all about sadhanas. They may give some punya, but the main thing called as mano niyantana, which is parama yoga, that you will not achieve. Therefore, what are the three, four things we have to do? All the above said sadhanas karna hai. For the sake of what? Controlling the mind. When the mind is controlled, you need not involve in all of them. Then what to do? Use the mind to transcend itself to reach the self. Then, without focusing on mana niyantrana, don't just mechanically do all these things. Worse than all of that is what? Neither of these three are there. Neither the goal of Paramatma is there, nor the control of the mind happened, nor dana they are being done to control the mind. ये तीनों है ही नहीं है. That person is पक्का samsari, पक्का मूर्ख and mood and अज्ञानी. For him, he doesn't even aware of the mind, but mind goes on projecting the rajasic, tamasic, sattvic vrittis. He does only those karma and he is habitually going through the sukha dukkha samsari. He never even gets an idea that these are all happening. Is there any way to better myself to transcend all this? 99.9% people are like that. Even on the name of spirituality, whoever attend the classes and all, if they have not molded their life for this achievement, they are only lip level Vedantins. इफ दे आर स्पीकर्स, लिसनर्स हैं तो कान लेवल तक है वो लोग. उनके दिमाग में, दिल में ये दोनों बैठे ही नहीं है कि मुझे आध्यात्मिक बनना है, उसके लिए मन को नियंत्रण में लाना है. ये सब दिल दिमाग की बात है ना. हृदगतम एंड बुद्धिगतम शुड बी द आध्यात्मिकता. दिल से, बुद्धि से आध्यात्मिक बनकर हमें करना है साधना है. नॉट जस्ट बाई लिसनिंग. बाई लिसनिंग नोबडी इम्प्रूव्ड. नायमात्मा प्रवचनेन लभ्य. Only mere listening will not help. Kevalena pravachanena. Givena and listenena. That word he uses, Shankara in Bhashyam, kevalena. Kevalena pravachanena, kevalena medhaya, kevalena bhavunashrutena. Means that only. But along with that, when you have desire for Paramatma, along with this, then it will come. That's a topic there. Here also, only we are superficially listening, but not understood the essence of them. That I have to be spiritual, and for that, the first thing is I have to control the mind. To control the mind, only all these are done. So, two aspects of our life. One aspect, the positive aspects I am saying, not negative. Go to the Guru, sit in the class, listen, and it is told there is a mukti you have to achieve by yourself. For that, what you need is the mind, and that mind has to be controlled. First aspect. These are all theory. Actually, you have to do same thing. Take your mind and do all dhanadi karma and see its result in the mana being niyantrita. Then the niyantrita mana, under the guidance of the Guru, apply it in Sharanagati, in the Bhakti Marga arena, the Vedanta Vicharana, and see the self which is beyond the mind. These are only two aspects. थियरी सुना, प्रैक्टिकली किया और पहुंच गए. ये हो गया. समाहितम यस्य मन प्रशांतम दानादि किं वद तस्य कृत्यम असंयतम यस्य मनो विनश्यतो दानादि विश्चेद अपरम किमेमि. अरे मन कंट्रोल है ना, क्या दान वान करोगे, करेगा भी नहीं वो ठीक तरह से. देन दिस नेक्स्ट श्लोक, तो भगवान तो पीक लेवल पे ले जा रहे हमको. Today we'll chant it, explain tomorrow. Mano vashenye hi abhavan sma devaah manascha vasham sameti bhishmo hi devah sahasasahiyanu yunjyadvashetam sahi deva devah. I tell you, while chanting or saying this shloka, that Brahmana must be in the highest level of conviction. Even so, Bhagavan also, while quoting it to Uddhavji. In this, there are 4 or 5 topics. I'll just name them. By naming only, most of it you will understand, because you are not less than that BHIKSHU GEETHAM. One is what? Mano vashe. If the mind is in vasha, anya abhavansma devaha vashe. All our other devatas also are in your vasha. Devatas are indriyas. Then manascha na anyasya vasham sameti. Mana cannot be allowed, cannot be under the vasha of any devatas. Okay? Third, 3 things. One is when you bring your mind into control. Second is that leads to the control of all the faculties. Third is the other faculties cannot control the mind. Mind has to be controlled by our own self by an effort. Fourth one is while trying to do the control of mind, keep some things in mind. First one is Bhishmohi Devaha. That mind is very terrible and terrifying. Sahasaha. Sahasa Sahiyan means is more powerful than anyone else. So, therefore, Yunjad Vashe, you have to bring that mind into the Vasha. If you do that, what is the result? Sahi Devadevaha. He is the Devata of all the Devatas. Devata is controller of all the Devatas, his faculties. And it has lot of things to convey. Kal dekhenge. Sarvam Krishna Arpanam Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Tomorrow, maybe maximum day after, this chapter will conclude. Then we will see what is next. But important topic.